We'll begin our practice in a cross-legged seated position. If you want, you can shift your body gently left and right to feel your seat on the ground, maybe just to warm up the spine. And as you begin to come back towards a neutral spine, towards center, begin to connect your awareness to your seat. Feel your seat energetically rooting down into the ground. Feel the support of the ground below you. And use that support to release any tension that might be held in the hips, allowing the knees to gently fall open, beginning to soften the inner thighs, soften through the shins and the calves, soften through the feet. Bring your awareness back to your seat, ground down into your seat, and as you ground down, feel the length that you can create in the spine. The low back begins to lengthen. The heart gently begins to lift as the collarbone broadens and the shoulders soften down and back. The back of the neck is long as the crown of the head energetically reaches up towards the sky. The chin is at a neutral point or maybe gently tilted down to help the expansion in the back of the neck. Let go of any tension in the arms, in the elbows, in the wrists, and in your hands. We will open the sacred space for our practice with the sound of 3 ohms. I encourage you to join along in the ohms with me. Begin by taking a deep breath in and a long, full breath out. We'll inhale for our first Om. Continue to allow the vibration of Om to move through the body as we draw our awareness to our breath. Without controlling the breath, just observe the feeling of the breath entering and exiting the body. Notice the feeling of the breath coming in, and notice the feeling of the breath coming out. You can notice if the breath feels smooth and full, or perhaps the breath is feeling a bit constricted or tight. Just notice and observe the feeling of the breath in your body in this moment. As we deepen the awareness of our breath, we can begin to shift now into our yogic breathing. You can take a full exhale here, and then inhaling through the nose, let the belly gently fill. Pause at the top of the breath, and then exhale, gently draw the belly in. Breath comes back out through the nose, pausing at the bottom of the breath. Inhale through the nose, belly fills. You can feel the length and expansion in the body from your seat to your crown of your head. Exhale with control, gently drawing the belly in. Breath comes back out through the nose. Pause at the bottom of the breath. Continue this yogic breathing on your own, in and out through the nose. Belly gently rising and falling. take notice of any shift in the way that you're feeling, just from these few moments of observing and then controlling the breath. Notice any shift in the consciousness, in the mind, in the body, any shift within the breath itself. We'll prepare now to move into our three-part or Durga Pranayama, our three-part breath. In Durga Pranayama, we're going to be breathing first into the low belly, and then drawing the breath up through the diaphragm and filling and expanding through the chest, and then exhaling down from the chest, through the diaphragm, and then through the low belly. It's helpful here to place a hand on the chest and a hand on the belly. In this way, we can start to feel the movement of the body with the breath. You can begin by taking an exhale. With your inhale, begin to fill just the low belly. And as the low belly fills, draw the breath up through the diaphragm, expand and fill through the chest to the collarbone. And then exhale down from the chest, through the ribs, through the diaphragm, gently draw the belly in. Inhale, low belly, mid belly, chest. Exhale, chest, mid belly, low belly. Again, feel the breath. Inhale, low belly fills. Breath draws up the body through the diaphragm. The spine feels long as we expand through the chest. Heart gently lifts. Exhale, gently coming down with the breath through the chest, through the diaphragm. Low belly draws in. Observe the journey of the breath as you inhale, fill and expand, and the journey of the breath as you exhale and begin to release. Inhale, low belly, mid belly, chest. Exhale, chest, mid belly, low belly. Continue a few rounds here on your own. You can move through your last round of Durga Pranayama, three-part breath, and come back to your regular yogic breathing. The chest can stay soft now. The breath comes in through the nose and the belly fills. And as you exhale, energetically draw the belly in. Allow the breath to escape through the nose. As you continue your yogic breath here on your own, notice again any shift, any change that you may feel in the body, in the breath, in the mind, in the spirit. Continue to feel into the experience of your pranayama practice. We'll move now to our Kapalabhati, our fierce or fire breath. Kapalabhati is a powerful exhale followed by a very passive and gentle inhale. In this practice, we're repeatedly drawing the belly in with force. We typically practice about 15 to 20 rounds per cycle. And the energy of this breath is through the exhale. Inhale is soft. So to begin learning how to isolate the correct muscles to practice our Kapalabhati fire breath, it's helpful to place a hand onto the belly. And first begin by feeling the breath come in and out. And then we'll take a breath in together. Long breath out together. Inhale to a 3/4 breath and begin. Exhale, 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 exhale all the breath out. Take a gentle breath in. Full breath out again. Inhale this time to a 3/4 breath, so almost full, and then pause and hold the breath within the body. If you feel any discomfort, continue to breathe here. If not, you can continue holding for 3, 2, 1. Long exhale. Come back to your regular yogic breath. Notice any shift that you may have experienced in the body, the breath, your energy, and the spirit. And for our last pranayama practice, we'll be practicing Anuloma Viloma, our alternate nostril breath. For Anuloma Viloma, we'll be switching left and right from one nostril to the next. We'll begin by finding our mudras, our hand positions for Anuloma Viloma. So the left hand we're going to bring into Chin Mudra by bringing the tip of the thumb and the tip of the pointer finger together. The left hand will come to Vishnu Mudra by bringing the peace fingers down into the palm, and so we have the thumb, the ring finger, and the pinky finger extended. We can begin by taking a long exhale, and then with your inhale, draw the right hand up to the face. The thumb will be used to close off your right nostril, and exhale all the air from your left side. And we'll begin inhale left for 3, 2, 1. Retain the breath by pinching the nose for 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Open the right side, exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale right for 3, 2, 1. Close the right nostril, retain and hold the breath for 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Open the left side, exhale left for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale left for 3, 2, 1. Close the nose, retain the breath, soften the shoulders, soften the arms, soften the hands. Feel the strength in the body. Continue to hold 3, 2, 1, and we'll exhale right side. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale right side. 3, 2, 1. Retain the breath for 12. As you retain the breath, soften through the body. Release any tension that you might feel. And then open the left side and exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhaling left, 3, 2, 1. Retain the breath and hold for 12. 3, 2, 1. Open the right side and exhale for 6. 3, 2, 1. Inhaling right side for 3, 2, 1. Retain the breath for 12 seconds here. 3, 2, 1. We'll open the left side and exhale all the breath out from the body this time. You can gently bring the right hand back down to the knee. Allow the hands to be soft, the arms to be soft. Return back to your regular yogic breath, in through the nose and belly fills, out through the nose and belly gently draws in. Again, notice any shift in your awareness. We'll move into our asana practice, beginning to move and feel into the body. Beginning with our warm-ups, you can exhale the right ear to the right shoulder, and then gently rolling the chin down towards the chest, drawing the left ear over to the left shoulder, feeling the long expansiveness on your right side. And then exhaling down again, chin towards the chest, gently half circling towards the other side, right ear to right shoulder. Exhaling down, Length through the back of the neck. Left ear to left shoulder, right shoulder is soft. Feel the length on the right side of the neck. And then exhale down again. Right ear to right shoulder, lengthening through the side of the left neck. Exhale, come down. Left ear to left shoulder, lengthening. Exhale, back down. Right ear comes over to the right shoulder, left shoulder soft, left side of the neck long. Exhale, back. A few more rounds on your own, left and right. And then beginning to come back up through center. And inhale and draw the shoulders up to the ears. Exhale, roll them forward and down. Inhale, shoulders come up, forward, and down. Now, continue to move through the shoulders, moving the shoulders forward. And then we'll begin to switch directions. We'll lift the shoulders up and draw the shoulders down and back. Inhale, shoulders up. Exhale, draw the shoulders down. One more here. And then coming back to a nice tall spine. We'll begin to move the upper body in circles around the base of the spine. You can choose either direction to start in. The hands are on the knees, elbows gently bent to help give some stability with the arms to help move the spine, moving into the low back, into the hips. Experiencing how your spine feels today, we can switch directions, come through the opposite side. Feel through the spine. Notice any tension, any stress. And we'll begin to come back through center. With an inhale, we'll bring both arms up into the sky, down into your seat to feel the length in the body, and then exhale, gently hinging at the hips, placing the hands out in front of you as you come to forward fold. You can be gentle on the body in our first forward fold here, allowing the hips to soften and relax. Release any tension in the backs of the knees, any tension in the ankles. Allow the low back to gently round, soften behind the heart. Allow the shoulders to gently fall away from each other as the arms feel the support of the ground below you. Begin to reconnect to your breath. Feel the gentle flow of the in-breath, the gentle movement of the out-breath. We'll take one more breath here. Inhale, exhale fully. And then very gently we'll begin to walk the hands in, coming up to a tall back. We'll place the palms behind the hips, drawing the weight back onto the hands, beginning to lift the heart up towards the sky, drawing the shoulders back towards each other. You can feel the broadness along the collarbone. Heart continues to lift up to the sky. One more inhale, exhale, and gently release. We'll come back through center and switch the cross of our legs, bringing the opposite leg in front. Take a moment to ground down into your seat. And as you find the foundation, inhale, bring your arms up to the sky. Exhale, take a long forward fold. Again, feel the groundedness through your foundation, your seat, and your legs. And allow that support to soften through the hips, soften through the backs of the knees and the ankles. Relax the low back, mid back, upper back. Shoulders are soft, arms are relaxed. Maybe you find the third eye gently resting on the ground here. And continue to soften for a few more breaths. We'll begin to move through our last breath here. You can take a deep breath in, long breath out together. As you're ready, with your inhale, slowly begin to walk the hands back up, coming back to a tall back. You can bring the arms to the sky if you choose, and then exhale, bringing the hands back behind you. Bringing the weight onto the hands, opening and lifting through the heart, drawing the shoulders back, and bringing the gaze to neutral or up to the sky. Breathe. Exhale, gently release. We'll transition to tabletop. You can either come right up over the knees or uncross the legs to find your tabletop position. In tabletop, we'll find that the wrists are below the shoulders, knees below the hips. Tops of the feet press down, and the hands press down as we inhale to arch the back and look up. And then exhale, engage the belly, push the earth away with the hands, gently tuck the tailbone forward and round through the spine. Inhale, let the breath guide the movement as you arch the back. Energetically press the hands down, feel a pull against the hands, and then exhale, engage the core, rounding through the spine, crown of the head towards the earth. Inhale to arch and look up. Exhale to engage, round. A few more rounds on your own, feeling the movement of the spine with the breath. Exhale guides the rounding. Inhale guides the arch. And we'll begin to bring some free movements into the body. Begin to move through the hips, left and right. Maybe making some figure eights with the whole body. Use this time to search out any tension that might be hiding in the hips or the shoulders, in the low back, in the neck, the upper back. Your moment to just explore the body and see how you're feeling today. We'll gently begin to come back through center. You can shift the weight forward over the wrists and exhale, chest comes down between the hands to Ashtanga Namaskara. And then inhale, draw the body forward, coming up into Bhujangasana Cobra Pose. In Cobra Pose, the feet are still hip distance apart, tops of the feet energetically pressing down to the ground. We have the fronts of the hips on the ground. Hands are on the ground, shoulder distance apart, about equal to the chest or to the hips. The elbows point back, the heart lifts forward, and the gaze can be slightly down or forward in front of you. We'll hold here for maybe 2 more breaths. And then engage the belly, press into the hands to rise up and back into Balasana, Child's Pose. We'll settle here for a moment in our Child's Pose before we begin our sun salutations. You might keep the knees together to help support and relax through the low back. Let the arms and the shoulders be soft. Feel the forehead on the earth as you begin to relax the back of the neck. Release any tension in the hips, the knees, ankles, and feet. Allow yourself to be held by the earth solid below you. And then to prepare to shift to downward facing dog, we'll engage the arms, press the hands down, round up to a tabletop, curl the feet, lift the hips, and extend back into downward facing dog. We'll begin with some warm-up so we can rise up onto the toes, giving a long stretch to the feet, and then drawing the heels back down. Maybe you want to do that again, rising up to the toes and pushing back to the heels. And then moving deeper into the hips and the legs, we can bend the right knee, push the left heel down, push the left hip away, and then switch sides, bend the left knee, press the right heel down, push the right hip away. You can continue to walk your dog out on your own, bending opposite legs, beginning to feel into your hips, feel into your low back, feel any tension through the backs of the legs, tension through the feet and the toes. And we'll begin to come back through center. We'll take one more adjustment by bending the knees, pressing the chest down towards the thighs as we lift through the hips, and then push the heels back down. As we pause here in downward dog, we'll take note of our alignment. We have the hands shoulder distance apart with the fingers spreading wide. Gentle grip into the earth with the hands. The upper arms find external rotation as we draw the shoulders away from each other and the upper arms away from the ears. Energy begins to ride up the back, lengthening through all the way to the tailbone. And then exhaling, energy comes down through the legs into the heels. The feet are hip distance apart. Gentle internal rotation through the legs. The back of the neck is long with the crown of the head energetically reaching down towards the earth. And we can find 3 more long, full breaths here in Adho Mukha Svanasana, our downward facing dog. Last exhale here, and then engage the belly. Inhale to come forward into high plank position. Weight comes over the wrists. And then exhale, either drop the knees, chest, and chin, or lower halfway through Chaturanga. Also have the option of lowering all the way to the ground. With an inhale, you can come up into Bhujangasana Cobra Pose, or begin to engage the legs, drawing the legs off the ground as you come into upward facing dog. Then engage the belly, lift through the tailbone, press back into the heels, coming back into downward facing dog. From here, we'll take baby steps and walk all the way up to the very top of our mat in a gentle forward fold. This is our first forward fold of the day, so it's a good idea to keep the knees gently bent. If you want, you can find opposite elbows and begin to move the body left and right, gently swaying and experiencing the spine once again. The body hangs heavy, the feet ground. Maybe shifting the weight forward and back. We'll gently release the hands to the ground and begin to roll up one vertebra at a time. Gently stacking the vertebra on top of each other as we rise all the way up to standing. We'll save the head and shoulders to come up last. Inhale, the shoulders can come up to the ears. Exhale, roll the shoulders down and back. Take a gentle rock forward and back along the feet. Palms open forward as we find Tadasana, mountain pose. We'll shift now to our Ujjayi breath. Ujjayi breath helps to protect the body as we move through our Vinyasa Flow Sequence. Ujjayi is a gentle constriction in the back of the throat, which allows the breath to be audible as you breathe in and out. It sounds a bit like this. We can continue to cultivate Ujjayi breath throughout the rest of our practice. We'll now move into Surya Namaskara A. Inhale, bring the arms up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway and lengthen. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to Chaturanga. Inhale forward into Cobra or upward facing dog. Engage the belly, push the earth away, exhale back, downward facing dog for 3 breaths. Find your alignment, find the steadiness in your breath, and then experience the pose. Find your last exhale here, and then with your next inhale, rise up onto the toes. Exhale to bend the knees, inhale to step forward to half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, engage the feet down, bring the arms up to the sky, arms come up overhead. Exhale, hands come to your side, Tadasana, mountain pose. We'll prepare for our second round. Inhale, arms come up, Utthita Tadasana. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale forward to Bhujangasana or Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale back to Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. We'll stay here for 3 to 5 full breaths. Again, find your alignment, find the steadiness in your breath, and begin to fully experience the posture. Last exhale. With an inhale, rise up to the knees. Exhale, bend the knees. And inhale to step forward to Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale to rise, Utthita Tadasana. Exhale, hands come down through heart center. Take a deep breath in and a long breath out. We'll prepare for our last round. Inhale, arms rise up, gentle back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway, lengthen. Exhale, plant the hands, step or float back to Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, forward, up dog or cobra. Engage the belly, press back, downward facing dog. 3 to 5 full breaths. Last breath here on your own. Inhale, rise up to the toes. Exhale, bend the knees. And then inhale to step forward to half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to rise, Utthita Tadasana, arms overhead, gentle back bend if it's there for you. And exhale, hands to your side, Tadasana. Reconnect with your breath. Find your Ujjayi breathing, inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the nose. Moving into Surya Namaskara B, Sun Salutation B, we'll be adding in Utkatasana Chair Pose and Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1. With an inhale, we'll sink down into chair pose by bending the knees. And then exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, planting the hands, stepping back to Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Engage the belly. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right foot steps forward between the hands. Left heel comes down, and we inhale to rise into Warrior 1. Exhale, hands come down to frame out your front foot and lower down through Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, back to downward facing dog. Left foot steps forward between the hands. Right heel comes down. Inhale to rise up into Warrior 1. Exhale, frame out your front foot. Step back and lower through Chaturanga. Inhale to up dog. Exhale, back to downward facing dog. In this downward dog, we're going to hold for 3 full breaths. Check in with your alignment. Check in with your breath. Experience this moment. Last exhale here on your own. Inhale to come up to the toes. Exhale, bend the knees. Inhale to step forward to half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come back up into Utkatasana Chair Pose. And then exhale, come up to standing, hands to your side, Tadasana Mountain Pose. Take a deep breath in and a long breath out as we prepare for our second side. Inhale, sinking into chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway, lengthen. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to Chaturanga. Inhale, forward to up dog. Engage the belly, exhale back, downward facing dog. Right foot steps forward between the hands, left foot at 45 degrees. Inhale to rise, Warrior 1. Exhale, hands come down, step back to high plank, lower through Chaturanga. Inhale to upward facing dog. Exhale back to downward facing dog. Left foot comes forward between the hands, right heel down. Inhale to rise, Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale, hands come down, step back to plank, lower through Chaturanga. Inhale to upward facing dog. Exhale back, downward facing dog. 3 to 5 full breaths here on your own. Last exhale on your own here, and then inhale to rise up to the tippy toes. Exhale to bend the knees, and inhale to step forward to half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Utkatasana Chair Pose. And then exhale, push the earth away as you rise up and find yourself in Tadasana, standing mountain posture. Deep full breath in, long full breath out as we prepare for our last round. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Right foot forward, left heel down. Inhale to rise, Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale to lower through Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Left foot comes forward, right heel comes down. Inhale to rise, Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale through Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale back, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Downward facing dog. We'll stay here for 3 full breaths. Last breath here. Inhale to rise to the toes. Exhale, bend the knees. Inhale to lightly step forward to half lift. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Utkatasana, chair pose. And then exhale to push the earth away. Hands to your side, Tadasana, mountain pose. Deep full breath in and long breath out. Inhale, bring the arms up into the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway, lengthen. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to downward facing dog. Option to come through a Chaturanga Vinyasa flow here if you'd like to come forward to high plank and move through your Vinyasa. We meet back in down dog. Inhale, lift the right leg up to the sky. Exhale, step the right foot forward between the hands. Left heel comes down to the ground into Warrior 1. Our back foot is at 45-degree angle. Front foot, toes point forward. Hips are beginning to square towards the front of the mat. The energy in the legs is strong. The core is engaged to take the curve out of the low back. Arms extend and shoulders soften. Moving into Warrior 2, extend the right leg. Turn to the left and open your stance into Warrior 2. In Warrior 2, our back foot is now 90 degrees or parallel to the back of our mat. The arms are open and strong, and the hips, instead of facing forward, are long to the length of our mat. Sink down into the pose, engage. To transition into Triangle Pose, we'll extend the right leg, reach the left hip back as we reach the right fingertips forward, and open our arms into Trikonasana, Triangle Pose. Here the legs are strong again. Energetically draw the inner thighs towards each other for stability. Find the rotation through the upper body and the length from fingertip to fingertip. Here we can engage the belly to rise back up, reversing our triangle, left hand back, right arm to the sky, and then we'll come back into Warrior 2. Right forearm comes onto the right thigh, left arm comes up over the left ear for our side angle. The feet here are in the same position as in Warrior 2, so the legs are strong. We find a nice line of energy from the left heel up past the left fingertips. Continue to breathe, observe. Engage the belly. With an inhale, we'll reverse the warrior. And then exhale, gently cartwheel the hands down. Step back to downward facing dog. You can stay here or inhale forward to high plank. Exhale, lowering to Chaturanga. Inhale to upward facing dog. Engage the belly. Exhale, downward facing dog. We'll move to the second side. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, left foot steps forward between the hands. Right heel comes down, coming into Warrior 1 on our left side. Engage through the legs. Engage the core. Feel the length in the spine. Soften the shoulders. Soften the back of the neck. Find your breath. Begin our transition. You can extend the left leg, turning to the right this time, widening the stance into Warrior 2. You can see how the back foot is parallel now to the back of the mat, and the hips are now squaring towards the long edge of your mat. The fingertips are even with the shoulders soft, crown of the head energetically lifting up to the sky, and we'll sink down into the legs here for another breath. And then inhale, extend the left leg. and we'll move into Triangle Pose. Left fingertips reach forward, right hip reaches back. As the left hand comes down to the ground, the shin or a block. Right arm this time is up in the sky, finding length between our fingertips, strength in our legs. Now you can engage the core, will begin to rise all the way back up, reversing the triangle, and then exhale, bend the left knee and come into Warrior Two. Left forearm comes to left thigh, right hand will scoop down towards the earth and come up and over the ear into our side angle pose. Here the legs are strong. The long line of energy extends from the right heel all the way up through the right fingertips. We're not caving into the left shoulder, allowing the left shoulder to draw away from the left ear. And then with your next inhale, engage the belly, rise up, reverse the warrior. Exhale, gently cartwheel down, frame out your front foot and step back to downward facing dog. You're welcome to stay here, or if you'd like to take a vinyasa flow, you can come forward into high plank, lower through chaturanga, find your bhujangasana or up dog, and meet back here in downward facing dog. We move now into our standing sequence 2. You can inhale, lift the right leg up to the sky. Exhale, step your right foot forward between the hands, cartwheel the left arm back and open into Warrior 2. Sink down into Warrior and then begin to extend the right leg. You can turn your body to face to the left. The toes point out to the corners of the mat. We'll inhale the arms up to the sky and exhale, sink down into Goddess Pose. In Goddess Pose, the legs are strong with the knees bent, hands at the heart center in Anjali Mudra, crown of the head extending long. Find your breath. And then hands come to the hips. Inhale, extend the legs. Turn the toes to point forward now. And then exhale to hinge at the hips, coming into our wide-legged forward fold. You can release your hands to the ground and begin to find a long stretch through the backs of the legs and the back side of the body. Last exhale here, hands come back to the hips, engage the belly, inhale to rise all the way back up to standing. Point your right toes forward, exhale, sink into Warrior Two. Inhale to reverse your warrior, lengthen through your right side, and then exhale, gently cartwheel down, frame out your front foot and step back to downward facing dog. You have the option to stay here or finding a vinyasa flow, inhaling forward to high plank. Exhale, lower through chaturanga. Inhale to up dog or cobra. Engage the belly and gently press back, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward dog. Inhale, left leg rises. Exhale, left foot comes forward in between the hands. Right arm will cartwheel open into Warrior Two. We'll prepare for our 5-pointed star. You can begin by extending the left leg, pointing your toes out towards the corners of the mat. Inhale, bring the arms up to the sky. Hands find prayer as you exhale down into Goddess Pose. Notice the strength and energy in the legs. If the knees are falling in towards each other, energetically draw the knees back. Find the length in your long spine, tailbone reaching down, crown of the head reaching up. Hands come to the hips. Extend the legs. Toes point forward now. Exhale, hinging at the waist, coming down into our wide-legged forward fold. Hands can release to the ground. And begin to find the length again, the backs of the legs. If you'd like to take a deeper variation, you can always reach the arms through the legs with the palms face down. Notice your breath. Notice the body. We'll find our last inhale in this position. And then slowly begin to bring the hands to neutral. Hands will come to the waist and then engage the belly, strong low back as you rise up. Left toes point forward as you sink into Warrior Two. Inhale to reverse the warrior, find the length in your body. Exhale, gently cartwheel down, step back to downward facing dog. You have the option to stay here or move through your own vinyasa flow. Wherever you are in your practice, connect to the breath. Allow the breath to guide the movement. Allow the breath to guide the stillness. We'll take baby steps now to walk all the way up to the very top of the mat to Uttanasana, forward fold. You can allow the knees to bend and allow the upper body to be heavy. And then inhale, lift up halfway, lengthen, extend the legs, and exhale, fold down. With your next inhale, we'll rise all the way up to Tadasana, maybe a gentle back bend. Exhale and bring your hands to your side, Tadasana, mountain pose. Moving on now to our standing balance sequence. We'll bring the feet about hip distance apart and just begin to find the stability on our feet again. You can shift your weight into your left side. We'll begin by lifting the right knee up into the chest. You can interlace the hands around your shin or the back of your thigh. You can stay right here, or reaching for the outer edge of your foot, you can begin to extend the leg forward. Your knee can stay bent. We'll breathe here, finding stability in the breath, stability in the body. Then, option to open the right leg out to the right side. Again, the leg can be straight, or it's okay if the knee is bent. Transitioning to our Shavasana or tree pose, we'll draw the leg forward again and then bend the knee. We'll draw our right knee out to our right side and place the bottom of the right foot into the left thigh. You also have the option of bringing the bottom of your foot to the left calf. We'll find stability here, hands at the heart center. Or if you'd like, you also have the option to extend the arms up into the sky. Continue to find your balance. It's helpful to focus the eyes on one non-moving point, our drishti, our focus. We'll gently bring the hands down to our side, and we'll place the right foot in the right hand, preparing for dancer pose. Left arm comes up in front of us. And then exhale to kick the right leg back up into the hand and draw the body forward into dancer pose. The body is long. We have length from our right toes to our left fingertips. Continue to find your balance and breathe, and slowly come down. You can release your leg, maybe shake out the feet, move through the ankles, move through the toes, and we'll prepare for the opposite side. This time shifting weight onto your right leg, inhale left knee up to the chest. You can interlace your hands around your left shin or behind the left thigh. Option to stay here or reaching for the outer edge of your left foot, you can inhale to extend your left leg forward. Here, the left leg can be straight or you can bend the left knee as much as you need. You have an option again to stay right here, or option to open the left leg out to your left side, opening through the hips. Here, it's okay to keep the left knee bent. Continue to find a nice long line of energy from your right foot up through the crown of the head. Preparing to transition to Vrikshasana, we'll bring our left foot back through center, bend the knee, and then draw the left knee out to the left side as the bottom of the left foot comes onto the right thigh. Also have the option to avoid the knee and place the bottom of the left foot on the right calf. Hands come to heart center for stability, beginning to find your drishti, your focal point. And you can stay here or engage and draw the arms up into the sky. As the arms come up, the shoulders gently soften down and back. Find your breath, find your balance, find your focus. Left hand can come down now. We'll place the left foot into the left hand as we prepare for Dancer Pose. The left leg kicks up and back into the left hand as we draw the body forward into Dancer Pose. Continue to find the balance on your right leg, strong through the whole leg, and length from toe to fingertip. One more breath here. And then exhale, gently coming back out. Release your leg to the ground. You can shake out any tension that you might have in the ankles or in the toes. And come back to Tadasana, Mountain Pose. From here, inhale your arms up into the sky, Utthita Tadasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway and lengthen. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to downward facing dog. Option to stay here, or if you'd like, you can come forward into high plank and take a Chaturanga Vinyasa Flow, moving through Cobra or Up Dog, and meeting back here in downward facing dog. Can inhale to bring the right leg back up into the sky, and then exhale, stack the hips right on top of left, bend the knee to the sky, and feel the expansion in the right leg. You can maybe move through the ankle. And then inhale, come back through center, square the hips. Exhale, draw the right knee to the chest in high plank, and then we'll lower down into Pigeon Pose. For Pigeon, we'll bring the right knee behind the right wrist, beginning to square our front shin to the front of the mat. If you need to, you can keep a bend in the right leg. Feel the long line of energy along your left leg as you press the top of your left foot down into the ground. If you need to, you can support your right hip with a pillow or a blanket. You also have the option to place a pillow or a blanket under the chest or the forehead. We want to allow the low back to be flat and to have length in the upper body so you can feel the expansion along the spine. Allow yourself to settle here as you soften into the hips. Soften through the shoulders. Begin to find our last breath or two here, feeling the breath move through the body. And we'll slowly begin to press up onto the hands. And curl the left toes under, lift the right knee, and we'll step back to down dog. Any small adjustments you might need to take here, walking out the dog, moving the hips to help release through the right hip. Moving to the second side, inhale, left leg rises. We'll stack the left hip on top of the right and bend the left knee to the sky. You can start to feel the expansion through the left hips. Maybe you want to bring some movement to your left foot, moving through the ankle. And then inhale, coming back up through center, square the hips, and exhale, draw your left knee to the back of the left arm, and then we'll release down into our Pigeon Pose on the left side. Here you can get a better angle of how the left hip is down on the ground, and if the hip isn't down, you can support it with a block, a bolster, a blanket, or a pillow. Feel the long energy through your extended right leg, pressing the top of the right foot down to the earth. The low back is beginning to move to a point where it's flat, and we begin to find length along the spine all the way through the crown of the head. If you want to use a blanket or a pillow underneath the chest here or underneath the forehead, you can do so to allow yourself to continue to soften deeper and deeper into the hips and into your pigeon posture. begin to find our last breath here, softening, relaxing, connecting to our intention, and then slowly beginning to press back up onto the hands. You can curl the right toes under. We'll step the left foot back to downward facing dog. Option to stay here or move through your vinyasa flow. With an inhale, we'll lift up onto the toes, look forward, and this time step or hop just halfway up your mat with the feet wide. We'll come into our Malasana, garland pose. Here, the knees are wide, the elbows are coming into the inner thighs, and the hands are at the heart. We'll begin to transition into our arm balance, crow pose. We'll move into this posture in stages so that no matter where you are in your practice, you can follow along. We'll begin by extending the hands to the ground, and then lifting the hips and stepping the feet back about an inch or two. Then we'll bend the knees, draw the knees onto the triceps, and you can stay here or practice lifting one foot up and maybe lifting the other foot up. You can continue to keep one foot on the ground if it's more comfortable for you here. You can practice alternating the feet left and right, or touching the big toes together. When you're ready, you can release back into Malasana, our garland pose. Here you can gently place your hands back behind you, and we'll release down onto our seat, extending the legs in front of us as we come into Tadasana, staff pose. Push the heels away, draw the toes back, feel the length in the spine, reach the crown of the head to the sky. Inhale, draw the arms up to the sky, and then exhale, let the heart guide you forward as you hinge at the hips and come into our forward fold, Paschimottanasana. You can always inhale, lift up halfway, lengthen, and then exhale and come back down. Hands can be at your sides, or the arms can be active, holding onto the shins, onto the outer edges of the feet, or onto the toes. Anytime you need a small adjustment, inhale, lift up halfway, exhale, and deepen into your fold. Continue to breathe here. Beginning to move through your last breath. We'll extend the arms forward as we rise all the way up to the sky. Exhale, bring your hands back behind you with the fingertips facing forward. Point the toes down to the earth, engage the body, fire up the core. Inhale to lift the tailbone to the sky. If this position isn't uncomfortable for you, then you can bend the knees and plant the feet on the ground and take a reverse tabletop. When we're ready to come down, we'll draw the chin to the chest, slowly release down to the earth, bend the knees, draw the legs into the body. We'll use the right hand to come under the right leg, reaching for the left shin, bringing the left knee forward, and then crossing the right leg over the left, preparing for our twist. Inhale, arms come up to the sky. Exhale and gently twist to the right. The right hand comes back behind you onto the earth. Left arm can help to hug the right leg into the body as we twist. The shoulders should be soft and away from the ears. See if you can feel your seat pressing into the ground. And from that stability, find the length through the spine, energy reaching up through the crown of the head. Option to turn and look over the right shoulder. Remember your breath here as we twist into the belly. Breath comes in through the nose, the low lungs, and the belly fill. Exhale, gently draw the belly in. And then inhale, engage the core, come up through center, arms overhead. Exhale, turn to the left. Left hand comes back behind the hip, right hand to the ground. You have the option to bow here. If you bow, use the strength of your arms to press yourself back up to seated. We'll come back through center and we're going to switch the cross of our legs. So if you place both feet on the ground, you can use the left arm to come under the left leg, reaching for the right shin, drawing the right heel towards the left hip. Inhale, arms come up to the sky. Exhale, this time we'll turn to the left. Left hand comes to the ground behind your hips. Right arm will help to hug the left leg into the body. Again, the heart lifts, the collarbone is broad, and the shoulders are soft. Root into your seat, feel the strength in the legs, and lengthen through the spine, up through the crown of the head. Option to bring your gaze all the way over your left shoulder. Find the breath in the body. We're finding our last breath here. Engage the belly. Inhale, coming back up through center, and then exhale, counter twist to the opposite side. Hands to the earth, option to take a bow. If you bow, use the strength in your arms to bring you back up through center. We'll uncross the legs again, plant both feet on the ground, and move through some cat-cow. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to round through the spine, chin to the chest. Inhale to rise up. Exhale to round and soften. Inhale, rising up, shoulders and elbows draw down, heart towards the sky. Exhale, soften and round. Last one, inhale. Exhale. Then inhale, we'll come back up to a flat back, preparing to move into our boat pose. We'll begin to find the balance on our seat. Hands can come back behind the thighs as we lift the feet off the ground. You can stay here or release the arms forward. Also, the option to extend the legs all the way if that's in your practice. Wherever you are in your boat pose, continue to breathe. Inhale, exhale, and release. We'll bring the feet to the ground, and we'll open the legs wide into our butterfly pose. Take a deep breath in, and then with your exhale, gently fold over your feet. The heart is continuing to draw forward, but it's okay to have a gentle roundedness in the body, the spine, the shoulders. Allow yourself to settle here for another 3 to 5 breaths. You can find your last exhale here, and then with an inhale, slowly begin to rise back up to a tall back. We'll reach for the outsides of the feet, begin to find our balance, and we'll lift the feet off the ground. You can draw the knees back towards the side of your body as you begin to extend out into our boat pose variation. Here, the knees can be bent or the legs can be extended. Continue to find your balance. Soften the shoulders, lift the heart, lengthen through the crown of the head. Steady the breath. One more inhale. You have the option to release the legs to the ground or to draw the legs forward, coming back into a boat pose, Navasana. And then we'll cross the legs under the body, come up to tabletop, and press back into child's pose, Balasana. In this child's pose, your choice. You can have the knees together for support in your low back, or you can bring the knees wide to soften into the hips. We'll find another 2 or 3 full breaths here. We're going to be moving into preparation for headstand. If headstand is not in your practice already, please do not come all the way into headstand, but practice working through the stages and steps to prepare your practice to eventually move to headstand. So you can bring your gaze forward as we shift onto the forearms. We'll check the distance for our arms by reaching for opposite elbows with our fingers, and then bring the hands forward, interlace the fingers, and create a basket for the back of the head. The crown of the head can come to the ground, and this might be a wonderful place for you to pause and breathe. You do not need to go any further. If you'd like to take it a step further, you can begin to curl the toes under, extend the legs. You can pause here, or you can begin to walk the feet forward towards the body. This is another wonderful place to pause. You'll still get all the benefits of headstand here. Maybe you want to try bending one knee and then placing that knee down or that leg down. Maybe you want to practice bending the opposite knee. And for those that do have the practice of headstand, you can bring both knees into the chest and then extend the legs up into the sky. If you're in your headstand, there shouldn't be too much pressure on the crown of the head or the neck. The energy is in the shoulders, the strength in the shoulders, the elbows, and the hands, and length coming through the body as the toes reach up towards the sky. Wonderful. Please don't stay so long that you get tired in this pose. It's important to come down early. So when we come down, we'll come down slowly, one leg at a time. We can bring the knees back to the earth, and we'll sink back into our child's pose, Balasana. Again, you have the option to have the knees together or the knees apart. Allow the whole body to soften and calm. We'll find our last breath here, and we'll make a slow transition up to tabletop. You can walk your knees to the front of the mat, bring your legs to one side as you sit down, scoot to the front of the mat again, and then lower onto your back. We'll prepare for our plow and shoulder stand. Hands press into the ground, and we'll bring the legs up and overhead into plow pose. Plow here is a transition for shoulder stand. We'll bend the elbows, plant your hands on your back, and then lift one or both legs up into the sky for our shoulder stand. Here we want to try to keep the shoulders close together, so you might try to draw the elbows in towards each other. And we'll keep our hands walking up our back towards our shoulders to give us length through the spine. The legs are strong, and if you'd like to find yogi toes, you can point your whole foot and then just draw the toes back so that the pads of the feet are pressing energetically up into the sky. Here in our inversion, we're allowing all the fluid in the body to draw back to the heart to be recycled. When you're ready, we'll come down slowly, one leg at a time, and transition into our plow pose. You can keep, if your feet are still hovering in the sky, please keep your hands on your back. But if your toes are touching the ground, then you can release your hands and maybe interlace the hands together or have the hands apart on the ground. Continue to breathe as we begin to wind down our practice. Transitioning now, if the hands are bound, you can bring the hands apart and place the palms on the ground. We'll slowly begin to roll down one vertebra at a time, feeling our back come down onto the earth. When your low back comes to the ground, you can bend the knees and plant the feet on the earth. We'll keep the feet at least hip distance apart. You can reach your fingertips down to maybe gently graze the backs of the heels. We'll prepare to move into our bridge pose. Engage the core, engage the legs. Inhale to lift the body up into the sky. Here, the feet engage down so that the thighs can lift the body up. Tailbone lifts. Long line of energy along the front of the body with the heart lifting up to the sky and the hands and the arms pressing down into the earth. Continue to find your steady breath. Finding our last breath here, you can release the arms. We'll lift the arms to the sky, come up to the tippy toes, and then exhale, slowly come down one vertebra at a time. Drop the left hand to the heart and the right hand to the belly. The knees can fall into each other. The heels will turn away from each other with the toes pointed inward. Reconnect to your breath. Feel the breath move through the body. You can feel the right hand rise and fall with the breath. Maybe you can feel the heart beating in the left hand. Allow yourself a moment of stillness. We'll move now into our second bridge pose. Feet come hip distance apart, hands to the ground, engage and lift the tailbone up. You can stay here, or if you'd like to move to full wheel, hands can come next to the shoulders. We'll inhale to come up onto the crown of the head, and if still comfortable, you can rise up into full wheel. If full wheel isn't in your practice, you can remain and breathe in bridge pose. Feel the stability in the hands and the feet here in your bridge. Again, not staying so long that we become overtired. As you're ready, we'll slowly begin to come down. If you need to, you can come onto the head first to make any small adjustments, and then make your way onto your back. If you're in bridge pose, you can come down the same way we did before. We'll come back to our resting posture. Right hand to the heart this time, left hand to the belly. Knees gently fall into each other. Heels gently turn away from each other as the toes point in. Soften through your low back. Let the whole body feel heavy and supported here. We'll move now to fish pose. For fish, we'll lift the hips and plant the hands under the body with the palms face down and the outer edges of the thumbs gently touching. From here, press your weight into the forearms and the elbows. Lift and arch. Lift the heart and arch through the back as the crown of the head comes back towards the ground. Here, we find a long line of energy from the toes, riding up through the heart as we find the arch in the back, length across the front of the neck, and the crown of the head connecting to the ground. When you're ready to come out of this posture, take your time, engage through the belly, press into the hands, and gently just release the head from the ground. Release your arms from underneath you, let the palms face up, feet come hip distance apart, and we'll pause here in our Shavasana. Just 2 or 3 breaths to transition to our next pose. On your next inhale, you can bring the arms overhead, point the toes, and then exhale, draw the right knee into the chest, and maybe take a little movement left and right. From here, we'll extend the right leg up into the sky. You can interlace your hands behind the thigh or the calf. We'll find a nice long stretch to the back of the right leg as the left leg energetically presses down through the heel. The left leg is strong. The strength in the left leg helps us to find the expansion in the back of the right leg. Continue to breathe here. We'll take our last inhale here, and then with an exhale, slowly lowering the right leg back to the ground. Inhale, bring the arms up overhead, point the toes again, and then exhale, this time draw the left knee into the chest. Maybe shifting gently left and right along the low back, and then inhale to extend the left leg to the sky. Hands can come interlaced behind the left thigh or the left calf. Continue to breathe. Find the movement and journey of the breath in the body. The shoulders are soft. The face is soft. The right leg is active. Begin to find your last inhale here. Exhale, slowly release the left leg back down to the ground. Inhale, arms come up overhead again, pointing the toes to the earth. Exhale, draw both knees to the chest this time. Give yourself a gentle hug. And then we'll drop the knees to the right, extend our left arm out to the left side as we come into our supine twist. You can have the arms extended out to the side as well. Here, allow the upper body to be the foundation of the pose, the shoulders and the arms pressing against the ground. And then use that foundation to soften down your spine into the twist. Let the legs feel heavy. Surrender here. Find the steady movement of the breath. Last exhale. With an inhale, engage the belly, come back through center. Option to draw the knees into the chest again. This time we'll shift to draw the knees to our left side. Arms can come out to your side like a T. Shoulders and hands energetically drawing into the earth as we soften down the spine into our twist. Scan the whole body for any unnecessary tension and allow that breath to flow freely with no tension or restraint. We'll move through our last breath here. You can exhale fully, and with an inhale, come back through center. We'll hug the knees into the chest. You can make some gentle circles with the knees in either direction. And then moving into our happy baby, the knees come wide. We'll reach on the insides of the legs for the outsides of the feet. We want to see if we can keep the low back flush to the ground here, allowing the hips to open as the knees start to draw down towards the earth. You have the option to gently rock left and right, or perhaps just staying here in stillness. We'll transition by bringing the knees back together. You can give yourself a hug. And we'll release the legs down to Supta Baddha Konasana, our reclined butterfly pose. Here the bottoms of the feet touch. The heels draw in towards the body. The knees become heavy as the hips begin to open. You can check that we don't have a big curve in the low back. Allow the spine to be long. The shoulders are soft and supported by the ground. The head and neck are relaxed. You can begin to soften through your face, soften through your throat, soften the chest and the belly, the hips and the groin, the inner thighs, the calves, the knees, ankles, and feet. Slowly make our transition by bringing the hands to the outsides of the legs and drawing the knees together. We'll extend the legs out along our mat, moving into our final resting position, Shavasana. The feet are wide, maybe to the edges or off the mat. We allow the feet to gently fall open away from each other. Soften through your toes. Soften through the inner arches and the bottoms of your feet. Relax through your heel, through your ankles, through the tops of the shins and the backs of the shins along the calves. Soften the tops and the backs of your knees. Soften through the quads and the hamstrings and the upper legs. Feel the expansiveness that we've brought into the hips from our practice. You can feel the low back pressing into the ground as the belly gently rises and falls. The shoulders are soft. The chest is soft. Soften through the upper arms, the elbows, the forearms, wrists, the palm, fingers, and the whole hand. Feel the whole arm soft. You can notice the back of the head on the mat. And use that foundation to soften through the back of the neck. And soften through your throat. Soften the lips. Soften the tongue. Soften your cheeks and your jaw. Relax through the nose, through the eyes, and soften the brow. Soften through the forehead, through the temples, and the ears. The crown of the head relaxes, and the whole body feels comfortably held and relaxed. Let go of any control that you might still have over the breath. The breath is now calm, soft, and light. gently draw your awareness back to your breath. Noticing maybe the gentle rise and fall of the belly, or the gentle movement of the breath in and out of the nose. Allow the body to continue to be still as we observe the movements of the breath through the body. And then begin to deepen your awareness of your body. You can feel the arms and the legs. You can feel the head gently resting against the ground. You can begin to bring any small movements that you'd like into the fingers and the toes. Maybe some movement into the ankles and the wrists. As you're ready, inhaling the arms up overhead and pointing the toes down as you take a long stretch through the body. And then exhale, maybe bringing the knees to the chest again. And then gently turning to your side and coming to rest on the side of your choice. Continue to hold on to the stillness, the experience that we've found through our practice, as we slowly begin to press ourselves up to a tall, seated position. We can take a moment of internal reflection and observation, coming towards the end of our yogic journey, reconnecting with any intention that you might have for today, or for this moment, or for this practice. Remember to cultivate the inner stillness that is found through our asana and our pranayama, through our connection to the body, the breath, our energy, our spirit. We'll close our class with the sound of one Om together. Take a deep breath in and a long breath out. Inhale for Om. The light in me honors the light inside of you. And in this recognition, we feel our oneness. Namaste.